Now, this look is super easy, and if you're an oily girl, you're gonna love this. So if you're not priming your face before you're putting on makeup, exit out of this video, because this video is not for you. It's for the elite who prime their face with actual primers, not Milk Bath or calamine lotion. So the first thing that I actually like to do is use a toner, but I had already used it, so I'm not gonna do it again on my face because toners are strong. But I am gonna go in with this Kiss Tea Tree Oil Control. I'm finna mess it up again. Oil Control Moisturizer. I always say oil control, but I am an oily girl, and my T-zones be eating me up in the summertime, and nobody likes oily makeup. So all the products I'm going to be using in today's video are going to be oily girl friendly. So I like to push this and press it in to my T-zone areas, because those are the ones that really get me. Okay. Then afterwards, what I like to do, once that gets like set in and dries a little bit, which it dries very, very, very fast, and it smells really, really good. I actually like to take some of my powder, roll it, and put it in the areas. Y'all don't mind me, that's my dog. It's Buddha. He's a fan. He likes to wait till I record to start talking. But I like to make an even coat. On my sponge just to reinforce the oil moisturizer. I like to go over my nose, around my nose, my top lip. I was told the only evil girls sweat on their top lip. I'm not evil. So once that's on, and I know this is backwards. I know you're like, you put on a powder before you put on. Yes, I did, okay? Because I'm gonna go around it. Then I'm like in love with this e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. This is the one that has niacinamide in it. A little goes a long way, but I'm using a lot. So I like to take this and still press it in over the top of that setting powder. This has been my holy grail. I've been wearing this Power Grip Primer. Not only does it hold the makeup in place, did not see a single drop of oil. And you won't either if you're following this exact routine. So I'm all for being a beauty on a budget. And I love the Kiss Pro Touch Full Coverage Concealer. I'm in the shade Toffee, and then because I like to have a bright under eye, I like to use Sun Beige too. Girls, it dries down super fast, so you have to work extra fast. Y'all like my hair, okay? I normally deal with like black hair. I felt like black hair was getting a little boring. Now don't get me wrong, I'm always love a bust down black middle part wig or whatever, but I feel like this like sandy brown reddish tone is it. Then I like to take a little bit on my forehead. Once. So then I'm gonna go in with Sun Beige. I'm running out of Sun Beige because I told you I really like a bright eye. But I'm only gonna dab a little bit like so on the inner corners of my eye. The next thing that I like to put on is this. This is the Pixie Beauty Louise Rowe. Yeah, and this is her Cream Rogue palette, so it can be used as lips or blush. I like to use it as blush. And I like to go on with like 3 different ones all at the same time. I really just be mixing the shades. So all these right here. And then I like to slightly put it on top of my concealer just so there's that nice seamless blend. And then I like to put it like right on the outer corners too. Trust me, it's all gonna come together. And you're like, girl, the placement. Girl, it's my face. So while that's on here, I like to take the Kiss Matte Finish Setting Spray. I also like to use Morphe's, but sometimes Morphe gets me a little oily. So I'm gonna use my matte. So I'm gonna let that dry. I like to fan it in some. I need to just go ahead and go get me one of those handheld, like a bougie cute girl fans, a little pink one or whatever. That's what I need to get. I'm gonna take the side of my beauty blender that does not have the powder on it, and I'm gonna start blending out my concealer. I like to start with the one that's Buddha. I like to start with the one that is closer to my skin tone and just go around like normal. The last one I'm probably going to do, I like to pick and choose. I alternate either between the lighter one or my blush. So it looks like the blush is gonna be next. So I like to just go in over that blush. And this is also helping me not have like that random weird separation of like makeup products. So I hate when you can see where your concealer stops and your blush starts or vice versa. I don't like that. So I like to just put mine on top of it, and I just like to take the bottom part of that beauty blender, because sometimes when I take the side of my beauty blender that has the concealer on it, it starts drowning out my blush, and I don't like my blush to be drowned out. I like to see my blush, and I don't like to go too heavy. That's another thing. I like to see my blush, but I don't like to be heavy-handed about it. So then now I'm going to just press in that lighter shade. I don't know about y'all, but I have to like look down, and with looking down, that just helps me not set or press in any creases. Does anybody else have like the phantom hand like this when they're doing their makeup? Because I definitely do. I do it all the time. My husband calls it my old lady hand. I used to do it a lot while I was pregnant. So moving on to the next. My favorite foundation right now was Tour. But I like to use this one specifically to bronze. I don't really do too much contouring anymore. I just love the softness of bronzing. So I like to take that much. Yes, that much. Just a little bit, because a little bit go a long way. And then I like to take an angled brush and really just swirl it on there. And bronze up my cheeks like so. This stuff also is full coverage, but it's so lightweight. This is the shade Cappuccino. Oh, I lied. No, it's not. It's Mocha. And I like to use this just to bronze up my face, give it some warmth. Because you know, sometimes when you put on foundation, it can make you a little bit washed out. And we don't want that. And I'm gonna take whatever's left on the top of my head and blend it in. She's cute, extra cute. And then I'm gonna take whatever's left over on that too and just under my chin, because I got a small head. So I need some features to be shown, okay? Excuse her, she's a little dusty. Like I got her out the archives. But I like to use Laura Mercier. This one is in Translucent Honey. I know most people like, girl, you need to just use a regular translucent. No, I like Translucent Honey because it gives me what I'm looking for in my complexion, okay? And then a secret with it, I like to go in with the Kiss Pro Touch setting powder. This one's in the shade Earth. It's a little dark, as you can see, but I like to mix the two so I can get a shade like this. Yeah. And then we're gonna take that same beauty blender that we did, and we're gonna make sure that there's no creases under there before we set our makeup. And the key to it is when you're doing this, all right, don't just like blot it on like crazy. Like here, roll it, take some of that excess off so you can have a nice thin coat, and lightly and press it in. I don't really bake. I don't feel the need to. And I know that's kind of backwards because I'm an oily girl, but I just don't like baking. I like to just take whatever powder I need to take and just really press it into my skin until it melts like butter, or whatever that daggone TikTok site was. And I like to just really, really press that in. But that's how I get that nice smooth under eye. Like, y'all see the difference? She eats every time. When we say roll, get that excess off. Get some of that off my hand too. And then we're going to press her in. Really, really press her in and let that melt. And then I just like to take whatever's left over. I don't really like to go back in too much. I really do majority of my setting under my eyes. Excuse me, yes, I'm giving you guys a little peep show. I don't really like to go too heavy-handed with the powders. I like to just take whatever I have left over and just put it in the areas I need to put it in. Like so. I love the Born This Way Too Faced. This one is in the shade Warm Sand. That is your girl's favorite girly. And I don't really like to use much. Once again, we're going like how we said with the bronzing foundation that I used. I only like to use it in this general area. So I like to roll some. This is a brush by Imani E. I just love this foundation brush. And then put it right underneath where I bronze. You see what I'm talking about? It don't even look like I put anything on my face. Stop playing with me. And then of course, you know we're gonna put some down on our neck because we don't do masks. Now I like to go in with the Hoola Benefit bronzer. This one's in the shade, I said Hoola Benefit Hoola Caramel bronzer. There we go. Don't do me, I know what I'm talking about. And I'm gonna take that same angled brush. This bronzer, she just makes me happy. Like, do y'all see the difference? Like, come on now. How could you not love her? And I'm just gonna put that where I put the liquid for my bronzing. And then some on the jawline. And then, so then I like to take like this fluffy brush right here and just to bring out my nose, because my nose look a little flat right now. Can't really tell where she is. We don't do that. And I'm just gonna bring some definition back into my nose. And I'm gonna bring it up into my brow bone. And I'm just gonna swirl it around like so. And bring it down somewhat. I don't really contour too much anymore because I just feel like, you know, I feel like maybe I've grown out of that stage. Now don't get me wrong, I'm a contour for like my brides and stuff like that when they ask me for it, but for my personal choice, I'm gonna just soften it up with some bronzing. I'm gonna go back in with that same beauty blender and just soften it up so it don't look harsh. Voila. And then also, just because I like to do this too, I like to take some bronzer down here too. So now I'm gonna go in with my blush. You know, I have been into the orange tones lately, but I'm a pink blush girly at heart, okay? So I'm gonna go in with the Juvia's Place Saharan blush. This is volume 2, and I like to go in with Tao and Lena, and I like to mix those two. So I like to go back and forth between the two. So I love the Kiss mattifying powder and I love the Ulta Beauty, but this one's a little bit darker and I like to use this for when I'm like actually tan, but I ain't been out in the sun lately because it's been hot. So we gonna use the Kiss. This one is in this first of all, it's translucent tan, but this one is also shine control. We gonna place some of that powder right under that bronzer. Same thing here and here. And then just because I like to, I also like to take it up right where I had placed my setting powders and stuff. For me, it acts as like a finishing powder, and that's why I love it so much. Delicious. So I recently trimmed up my brows, the little bit that I do have, just because it needed some uniformity. It wasn't looking good, okay? So I like to use the NYX brow glue to hold my brows in place because we like a brow that lasts all day now. And I like to go up into them first, make them look a little crazy, and then I like to brush them up and then brush them downwards, not completely down because I don't want my brows down. I like the fluffy brow look like that. And then we're gonna let it dry down some before I do anything. So next I like to go in with the NYX micro brow pencil. I don't really care to use black brow pencils. I haven't been using them in so long. I've actually been using like ash brown or like a dark gray. And so what I like to do, because I like the feathered look, and I just like to fill in my sparse areas in the front, go underneath it and do the same. I like more the natural brow look now. I used to like draw on my brows and like really fill them in until they were completely dark. But your girl has evolved. I have grown up. I don't care for that anymore. And then I like to fill in the tail end like so, and then just fill in whatever areas are sparse and need to be filled in. And it's normally just the tail of my brows, as you can see, and right underneath it, because my brow hairs are really short and really fine. But like that, I don't like nothing over the top. So then I'm gonna take my spoolie and blend her in some more. I don't like to go over like the top of my brows anymore with like concealer or foundation. I just feel like that was a lot. When I used to do my old routine, it was fine, but I don't really care to do that anymore. So now I'm gonna go back in with that same concealer that I used in the beginning, and we're gonna clean up under my brow. And I just feel like, you know, having your brows done beforehand just makes life so much easier when doing your brows. And we're gonna dab this on here. And I kind of like to like do like the eyebrow raise just to create my arch though, because I don't really got too much of an arch. And I like to buff out those ends. I like concealer so it don't look like it just stopped. And we're gonna clean that up. But the brows is on, honey. So sometimes I like to do this, sometimes I don't. But today I'm gonna do it just cause why not? So I like to go back in with that same Hoola bronzer that I always use. And I like to use that as an eyeshadow just cause it's softer and I just like the way it looks as a finisher on my eyes. I don't really care to have like a really harsh color on sometimes. I won't even say harsh, I just don't really care to have like such a vibrant color on. I just like one that like matches my natural skin tone. Yeah, and the Hoola bronzer just does it for me. And I like to like kind of whisper out a little bit, like so. Yeah, nay know the vibes. But like that, just nice and soft and sultry. Boom. Okay, so when I'm doing my lashes, but I'm gonna go in with my Long and Define mascara. And this is just really to set the base for my lashes. I'm not even gonna put on like a liner on my eyes just cause when I do like my everyday looks, I don't really care to have on a liner at all. And if you have trouble putting on your lashes, watch these, okay? Just watch. I got something. We're gonna get that a little tacky first. So while that's drying on there, girlies, listen up. We're gonna take a compact mirror, right? We're gonna put it slightly under our chin, tilt our head like so. Get your tweezers ready. I like to use these kind of tweezers for one. And then we're going to put that really close to the lash band, as close as possible, like this. Can you see that? And then, like I said, look down with that compact mirror slightly underneath your chin. I like to place the lash glue on my lash line just so wherever I place my lashes at is where they'll sit rather than putting it on the lashes itself. And then my daggone lash is sitting in a really weird spot. I don't like that. Right now. We're trying to tell the girlies. And then I like to press it in just to make sure I have it set on that glue. Ooh. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care how often you wear lashes. As soon as you put them on, that first look is like, girl, blink. And I'm not even gonna take it all the way in. I'm just gonna take it like halfway, like that. So I just think that's really cute. Now for the last step and my favorite step, but let me get some of this stuff off my lips. I have so many lip liners. So many. And that's not even all of them. But I normally like to go in with a regular brown lip liner if I could ever find one because I have so many different ones, y'all. But y'all know I'm gonna go in with my NYX. But then again, I might go in with my Nika K. If you know, you know. If you don't, then go to the beauty supply store and find out. Next, I like to go in with my MAC lipstick. This one is in Creme de la Nude. And then just keep doing it like so until I get the perfect nude lip. I really like to go heavy-handed on my lip because of the way I draw my lip liner, and it kind of looks really dark. And then once I have that on there, I like to go in. This is a Makeup Revolution lippy. This one is in the color Divine. So if you don't know, you about to know. I love me some Journey Beauty gloss. This is in the shade Nudes. It stays in my purse because I need her. Yes, my daughter said it's fire. But that is pretty much it for my everyday makeup look. If you guys enjoy, let me know down in the comments down below. Comment your favorite product, comment your favorite part of the makeup, and I'll see you in the next video.